You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Monday. I'm Dalby. Brock was not with us for the show today, so he will not be here for the podcast today, but he will be back tomorrow. I love being a parent for a number of reasons. I love my kids. They're the best. I also love some of the things that it affords me the ability to do that I maybe wouldn't be able to do if I was just a grown man, almost 43 years old. For example, I kept seeing all these trailers for the new Minions versus Monsters movie, or whatever it's called, Minions and Monsters, that came out last week. And I thought to myself, I actually think that this might look funny, despite the fact that it is a Minions movie, and the creation of the Minions has been somewhat of a plague on society for the last 15 years or whatever it's been since the first Despicable Me movie came out. I still thought the premise of it sounded like it might be funny. And so here I am with 3 kids, my partner and I. We said, hey, kids, do you want to go? The Minions movie is out. You want to go see it? Yeah. We buy tickets. We go to the movie. We're in deep debt now, as anybody who goes to the movies is these days. But wouldn't you know, what a fantastic movie. Honestly, for a movie that is mostly a mixture of gibberish and Spanish, we definitely did pick up. My partner has been doing Duolingo. There's a lot of Spanish in the Minions dialogue these days, but act like genuinely and actually funny movie. Laughed out loud maybe more times than I did during Toy Story 5, another movie that as a grown man probably would have been awkward to go see by myself, but thanks to having children, was able to go see without any sideways looks or second glances. But it got me thinking, it was like, I could never tell someone, and I'm not saying it's my favorite movie. I'm just saying I enjoyed it, and if you are thinking about going to see it, you probably should. It's a good time. But I was thinking about, if this was my favorite movie, I wouldn't be able to tell anybody. Like, you cannot, in a real discussion, tell someone that your favorite movie is the Minion movie if you have celebrated a birthday where you were illegally allowed to go to the bar. So, like, people just aren't ready for that kind of honesty. They're not ready for that kind of openness. And it's so funny because movies is very similar to music, where like we have these guilty pleasures, these movies that we watch that we find incredibly entertaining, that maybe we watched when we were kids and they hold a special place in our hearts or whatever it is. But you don't tell people because you don't want to be judged. And I am here today to say that we shouldn't have guilty pleasure anything. If you love the Minions movie, if it's your favorite movie, you should watch more movies, but it's still your favorite movie, and you should be able to say that without jerks like me saying things like you need to watch more movies. We should be able to proudly say what our favorite things are. Because when I say that my favorite movie is whatever it might be, I'm not telling you have to go out and watch it. I'm saying it's my favorite movie, but people will get offended for your own choice and taste. Like, oh my God, gross. You're disgusting. How could you? And I'm saying the next time someone tells you what their favorite movie or TV show or CD or whatever is, and it's not your favorite thing, give yourself 3 seconds to not react and then just move on and let people like the things that they like.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We are talking about guilty pleasures in movies because I saw the Minions movie on the weekend, and I am brave enough as a man to say that it was funny, and I would probably watch it again, and I would recommend it to people, and I'm ready to be mocked for that because I don't think we should be ashamed to say when we enjoyed movies. So I'm asking, what is your guilty pleasure movie? Ryan, you had one that you said might surprise some people.
I hate to admit it, but my guilty pleasure movie is Master of Disguise, if anybody remembers that.
Is that the Turtle Club movie?
Yes.
I will, full disclosure, I have only ever seen the trailer. I have only ever seen Dana Carvey doing the turtle in the trailer. I've not watched the movie. What makes it one of your favorites?
It's just such a stupid film, but I think it's basically a series of really, really bad impressions from Dana Carvey.
I think that's okay, though. So here's the thing, right? Because you even say, you're like, I hate to admit it. People will judge you for saying that you like that movie. But you're even saying you didn't like it because you thought it was some Oscar-winning dramatic masterpiece. You're like, it was stupid and it made me giggle.
Yes, exactly.
We've come too far as a society to be up our own backsides when you can't just be like, yeah, that was dumb and funny and that's good enough.
I concur, definitely.
Now, let me ask you this. If they remade that movie, would you go see it in theaters?
Oh, well, yes, very much so. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on the air, but yes, I would very much go see that movie.
I'm honestly trying to figure out the last time somebody got passionate enough about Master of Disguise to want to cuss. But I think those are the two tests. If you would go see a remake of it because it meant that much to you when it came out, and if you would watch it while hungover on TV, if you were on the couch and the movie came on and you'd be like, hell yeah, this is the next 2 hours of my life, I think that means it's a good movie, at least for you. Andrew, you think you might have an even more controversial guilty pleasure. What's yours, brother?
So this is going to be as close to sacrilegious as it gets.
Ooh.
But episode 1, Phantom Menace. I know
Wars.
Star Wars fans are not going to like hearing that one. But I don't know, the pod racing as a kid, it was pretty epic. Darth Maul can't get much better as a villain, really.
You said, I think, what might be the key word. How old were you when you watched the movie?
I'll be like 10 or 11.
See, that's the thing, brother. We didn't get to grow up during the original trilogy. I was a little older than you. I think I was like 15 or something like that when it came out. But episode 1 was the first Star Wars movie I got to see in the theaters. And that was another one where, like, I went to go see it. And was it my favorite movie? No. But was I blown away by getting to see a Star Wars movie shot in modern film? Absolutely. And then you go talk to people and like, maybe the worst movie ever made. You're like, oh no.
You know, man, I remember lining up for the theater and everybody's dressed up and it was mind blowing. So
I get that people hated it. And I understand the reason why people hated it. I think the only real criticism I have of that movie was my friends and I were way too young and way too ignorant to be doing Jar Jar impressions because that was kind of racist.
Fair enough.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got to talk about Team Canada at the World Cup because what a historic run it has been. And I understand that maybe I'm not putting the correct past tense on it because unfortunately Canada did lose on the weekend to Morocco by a score of 3-0, which does not reflect the game that was played itself. It's been so frustrating watching especially our neighbors to the south in the States who are trying to build some sort of rivalry here, doing their fair share of the trash talking about, oh, you got blown out 3-0 by Morocco. But the fact of the matter is it was Canada's game. And then Morocco got a goal and no fault, right? Not criticizing. They got a goal. They scored. They took a 1-0 lead. And Canada, unfortunately, just ran out of time, had to go on full offense. And in soccer, when you put all of your attack in, it's just like pulling your goalie in hockey. If something goes wrong and the ball, in this case, instead of the puck, goes the other way, you're probably going to get scored on. Goals 2 and 3 were the result of Canada just having an offensive opportunity, not capitalizing, and then being scored on. But at the same time, regardless of the score or the result, making it to the round of 16 for the first time, a tremendous accomplishment. I mean, you look, 48 teams in the tournament, 32 of them eliminated before Team Canada. That puts us in a pretty respectable position going forward. And it's been cool to watch. I mean, you know, the national pride that comes out when you put the maple leaf on a jersey, whether it is in soccer, women's soccer, we see it all the time too. We come out hard to support Team Canada. Obviously, all the various hockey tournaments from the Olympics to the World Cup and all that, when the leaf goes on the jersey, people get super excited. And it's just so funny to think that now that Canada's out, you know, we're still in a very exciting tournament, so people will probably still hang on. They'll see how America does. They'll watch the stars like Messi and Ronaldo and how they play. And in about a month, soccer's gonna get quiet again. Soccer will always have its fans. Football will always have its fans who are diehards and love the beautiful game. And they're up at 3 a.m. watching Premier League and Bundesliga and all these other things from overseas. But the majority who are buying and wearing the soccer jerseys and scarves and things now will get really quiet for about 4 years coming up in about a month's time. And it's just so fascinating to watch because I see it all the time. And I'm the same way myself with a lot of Olympic sports. You know, when the Olympics come around, I get really into diving. I love Olympic diving. I watch it like crazy, and I'm analyzing the splash and the entry angles and the trajectories and the points and all this stuff. And then the Olympics end, and I don't watch a single dive that isn't my kids at the local pool for the next 4 years.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A tough result for Canadian soccer against Morocco, losing 3-0, being eliminated in the round of 16, but still an incredible performance. And it's been cool to watch as an entire country has developed into soccer fans. You know, whether you never watched a game before, everyone was tuned in on the 4th to see the Canadian national team. So I asked a question today, 762-555. What's something that brought you into the fan base, even though normally you don't really care? Sam, for you, it's more on a minor league basis, you were saying?
Well, I like hockey, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But whenever my nephews play hockey, because I don't have kids of my own, I am the full committed aunt at the rink every single game. I don't scream at them. Like, I'm celebrating with them, even when they get their little goal or when they get their pass. Like, it just makes me so excited to see it.
You know, it's one thing to be there and you're cheering and maybe cowbelling and all that other stuff for your nephew. If he makes like playoffs, are you going like full face paint, holding up signs, all that stuff?
I'd do anything for either of them. I would do anything for them.
It feels nice to have someone cheer for you. Like if somebody is supporting you in the thing that you're doing, obviously, like internally, that feels good. But how old is your nephew?
So one is 5, almost 6, and the other one is 3.
Oh, see, and I was going to say, he's probably young enough that it's just all good. He's just like, Auntie's here. But you just wait, because he's going to get to like 10, 11, and then into like the teen years. And he's going to be that kid down on the ice being like, oh my God, my aunt won't stop painting her face and yelling. Please stop.
Maybe then I'll dial it back just a tad bit for him.
Sam, we both know that you won't.
No, that's true. I won't. You know that.
And to be fair, your nephew, even though eventually the kids all get too cool, he doesn't want you to dial it back either. He likes having a fan in the stands.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I have been criticized for being a spice wuss in my life. And I come by it honestly. We were a big ketchup house when I was growing up. The only use my family had for hot sauce when I was a kid was the Tabasco in my mom's Caesars. But a little vindication today, after news from the weekend, that hazmat crews, hazardous materials crews, had to be called out to an Ohio highway to investigate and clean up after a semi-truck that spilled 40,000 pounds of Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Apparently the truck got a leak. I'm still not sure as to how it happened. They keep talking about the heat in all the news stories about this, but I don't know if that like warped a seal or something like that. But 40,000 pounds start leaking out of this truck, out of the back, drizzling that ish on everything, so to speak, before finally the truck stopped at a truck stop, being chased down by fire crews and containment units who were alerted to a suspicious fiery red substance all over the highway. And here's the vindication for the spice wusses like me. This stuff has devastated the roads. Parking lots, other cars even are reporting damage, saying that they've been unable to successfully wash off the spray of the Frank's Red Hot Sauce that either drizzled next to them or that they drove through if they were behind the truck or being splashed, saying that even car washes are not effectively removing the hot sauce from their vehicles, and they're being told to make claims on their insurance to get this taken care of. Ohio is going through a major heat wave right now. Sounds familiar. That heat has made all the spilled Franks apparently a nightmare for cleanup. And because there's so much acidity in the vinegar that is in the sauce, they can't just wash it away. They're scared it'll actually ruin the local environment. If it gets into the drains, they're worried that it could be serious problems. So it's being treated like an oil spill to contain the damage. So just remember all of this the next time you're making fun of somebody who doesn't like their wings too hot, the next time you're loading up your tacos with all the hot sauce your digestive system can handle, you're risking some real damage to your back roads with that stuff.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It's been a lot of fun today talking about our guilty pleasure movies. So many people admitting and talking about and laughing on the text line about the movies that actually are important to them, that they love, that most people don't seem to like. Amanda, you said that you've got a guilty pleasure movie that means a lot to you.
The original, like from the 70s, Clash of the Titans with the crappy stop motion animation. Oh my yards.
That's what I love is when you ask somebody about like their guilty pleasure movies, as soon as they start putting the word like crappy in their description, like you're immediately trying to set the table for my expectations so they don't get too high.
Have you watched it?
I have not the 70s version.
It's got a soap star for like the leading role, and like the it's like the claymation, animation, stop motion stuff. It's fantastic.
Is this one of those guilty pleasure movies that you keep to yourself, or do you try to share it with people? I
forced my now husband to watch that on our first date.
Guilty pleasure movie on the first date is a wild play. Like, obviously it worked out for you. You're together now, but like, you must have been ready for this guy to walk away if you were like, well, I'll make him watch this movie. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, he's what he is.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
If you've ever watched a James Bond movie and thought it was unrealistic for no reason other than absolutely everyone in the movie is either a perfect 10 or some kind of hideous monster and nothing in between, Australia would like to have a word with you. It looks like their secret intelligence service, the ASIS, is teaming up with glamour magazine Vogue Australia to find the next generation of spies. They say that previously, they focused a lot on people with high academic intelligence, people with great marks in school and who have gotten a lot of education, but they are now looking to go with people who are a little bit more emotionally intelligent, a little more street smart, people with more social skills to be able to fit in with where their missions might take them without being so awkward. It's socially awkward. It can be tough. Sometimes if you're really, really smart, that doesn't necessarily mean you're good at talking to actual human beings. They're looking for somebody a little more comfortable in those scenarios. This is a smart move. We've all seen someone, if not been someone, mostly men, mind you, who've turned into babbling fools anytime a moderately attractive woman gives them any kind of attention. So why not line up a few models to go find out all of the world's deepest secrets? I mean, you look at the crop of big names in U.S. politics right now. You're telling me they wouldn't start dropping confidential information left and right if they thought it would impress a cute blonde? Other than the top guy, of course. I actually don't think that this would work on the president of the United States. He is historically only interested in women he finds attractive who already have his last name.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A man burglarizing a store went back outside only to find that his own getaway vehicle had been stolen. A man named Jalen Goddard in Maryland went into a Verizon store and held the place up. He was looking for money and he was looking for phones and the usual stuff you would do at a phone store. But when he went to flee the scene, he found that someone had stolen the car that he had parked across the street, and he was there unable to make a successful escape. Police matched him to the suspect from the Verizon store, and he was later arrested with burglary, theft, and destruction of property after he broke some windows to get in. Police say they have yet to identify the second thief, who would obviously be charged with Grand Theft Auto, but in this situation has also become somewhat of a hero.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You gotta have a Florida man story. We've got maybe one of my favorites, a 71-year-old man who fought off an alligator.
I started reeling and it jumped out of the water and grabbed me.
Grayson says the gator clamped down on his right leg, pulled him into the water.
He rolled me down off the bank into the water. I stuck my thumb in one eye and I just took that fishing pole and jabbed him in that other eye. And jabbed him and jabbed him and jabbed him. It seemed like forever, but it wasn't that long. And then he turned loose.
That's my favorite. It seemed like forever, but it wasn't that long. I guess didn't feel like forever. That basically, 71-year-old man went out to the body of water that's in behind the home that he lives in and started fishing and immediately was attacked by an alligator. Now, James Micken, says that he has hunted alligator before, so he kind of had the wherewithal to know that you got to go for the eyes, that's the easiest way to get, basically the only real way that you're going to get the alligator to let you go. But he managed to fight it off, and then his dog helped him get back to the house, and they were able to get him to the hospital, and everything turned out for the best. I feel like, obviously he got lucky. This could have been incredibly worse, but also seems like he just had no intention of this being the end of his story. This is his other quote.
I'm going to do everything I can not to die. No gator's going to run me off.
Basically saying, I'll be damned if an alligator is going to be what takes me out. I respect that.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies.
All right, time to give away $100 in Lotto Max tickets from our friends at OLG with a new game we're calling Tell Me Lies. And today we're asking you to lie to me and tell me why you're late for work. We've all had this experience, right? Unless you've got a incredibly strict moral code and a super chill boss, you have been to work late and you have come up with some sort of excuse. So that's all we're asking for today, is to tell us some lies about why it is that you are late for work. So let's start with some voice memos here. This one is from Ray.
Yeah, boss, the reason I'm a little bit late this morning is I woke up with a case of anal glaucoma. I couldn't really see my ass coming into work today.
It's a classic one. The problem is it's not really a lie. It's why most people just don't show up to work, and also is definitely not going to get you out of trouble. Let's try this one.
Hey, this is Mark calling, and the reason I didn't call in to work today is because I can't find my pants.
The problem with that as an excuse for why you're not at work is because it would imply that you only own one pair of pants, which maybe opens up the discussion you could have with your boss of like, listen, man, I was late for work today because I couldn't find my pants. I only own one pair because I'm not making enough money. Maybe we could talk about a raise. Maybe this turns things around for you. I like where your head's at.
Hey, boss. Not going to be able to make it in today. Came out to my car this morning, and it looked like some little vandals got to slashing my tires.
Oh.
So, unfortunately, I'm not making it in today.
Slash tires is a bad excuse. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a bad lie, because did you already manage to replace the tires? Again, if you're missing work, maybe. Late to work, that's not going to work. This one comes from Lenny.
Yeah, I'm calling in for work this morning because a fox ran off with my boots last night.
Again, similar to the pants. I guess you've only got the one pair of boots. That makes a lot more sense. Good luck getting them back from a fox, though. Let's go to Landon.
Hey, boss, I know you're not going to believe this, but I swear I was just about to turn into the parking lot and my stomach got the best of me. So I had to turn around and get some new pants, brother. I'm sorry.
The good thing about the diarrhea in the car excuse is that nobody wants to have the conversation. The downside is if you openly admit to your boss and your coworkers, or lie and say that you crapped yourself in the car right before you got to work, you are going to get a nickname that you will never be able to get rid of. If you're okay with that, it's a great excuse. Let's do one more here from Kylie.
Well, you see now, sir, a goose made direct eye contact with me, and I just couldn't turn down the challenge.
See, my thought would be if I saw a goose between me and the car, I'm not coming into work because I'm not getting mauled by a goose. But I do like the idea that you're crazy enough to want to fight a goose, because then is your boss really looking to argue with you about why you were late if you're that crazy. Thank you to everybody who texted in. Those are going to be our contestants today, 762-555. Who do you think had the best excuse? Let us know. Text in 762-555. I would have to say I'm partially leaning towards Landon, who had the pooping yourself in the car excuse. It is one of the best lies of all time. But also, I'm kind of really into Kylie's lie. Kylie, with the goose one, of saying, like, I got into a scrap with a goose and I don't know what to do about that. And the text line does seem to agree. So let's go ahead and give Kylie the ding and the round of applause for a very creative, if not psychopathic, lie to tell your boss about why you were late for work.
Well, you see now, sir, a goose made direct eye contact with me, and I just couldn't turn down the challenge.
Who's going to tell her she's wrong?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I will use this for selfish purposes to wish a very, very special happy birthday to my beautiful partner, Mallory, who has just made my life infinitely better over the last couple of years. I appreciate you so much, and I am very much looking forward to celebrating another year on this planet with you for your birthday after you get off of work. But thank you for allowing me to indulge for a moment, everybody. You guys are great too. Thank you all for hanging out on the show. I know it's always different when it's just me or it's just Brock, but you still come through and you still make it a lot of fun. And let's do it again tomorrow, shall we? In the meantime, if Brock was here, he would certainly want you to keep it sexy, but it's just me, so I'll say bye, everybody.
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the bad line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word bad to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby Podcast.